drama in downtown Manhattan yesterday for sure. We're talking, of course, about that trial. Here's the headline. Michael Cohen, Trump comes face to face with arch foe in court. Trump and his former attorney, Michael Cohen, arrived at court in New York within minutes, of each other yesterday, setting up a face-to-face encounter. Speaking to reporters as he entered the courtroom, President Trump reminded them that Cohen served prison time and said he was a, quote, proven liar. As for Cohen, he testified that President Trump ordered him to reverse engineer his assets to enhance his net worth. Well, joining us now to talk more about this is one of the attorneys for President Trump, Christina Bobb. Christina, always great to see you. Look, I mean, can credibility matter here? I mean, Michael Cohen is a convicted felon, line up the, quote, yin-yang. I mean, he makes Pinocchio look like an honest puppet.
You're exactly right. And under cross-examination by Alina Habba in court, President Trump's attorney in that case in New York, he admitted that he's lied under oath before. And she grilled him pretty hard, did a great job, basically acknowledging the number of times that he's lied. He acknowledged it. And then now we're supposed to believe that he wasn't lying when he pled guilty to a similar offense and said that it was him. And now he's accusing Donald Trump of doing the same thing, basically. They can't both be accurate. He was either lying then or he's lying now. And I think we all recognize that he's lying now. And I'll go further and say that Michael Cohen is such a known liar that New York Attorney General Letitia James never should have even put him on the stand. If they are resorting to using Michael Cohen as a witness, I think it goes to show that they don't actually have a case against Donald Trump.
Christina, do facts even really matter in this case? And I say that not jokingly, but you've got this judge who's going to decide the case. There's no jury. The judge seems to be biased. At this point, it seems like facts don't even matter. It's almost a done deal, and we need to focus on an appeal.
Yeah, I mean, I think the left has resorted to using what political power they have and what governmental power they have to eradicate their political opponents. That's what this is. You're right. They're not worried about the facts. They're worried about politics, and they're worried about the election, and they're worried about keeping power. That is their end game here. That's their goal. And so, no, you're right. I would say facts don't matter. However, this still is the United States of America. We still have our constitutional rights and our constitutional freedoms. And I think President Trump's legal team is doing a great job countering that, showing that the facts do matter and the facts are on President Trump's side.
You know, I remember, Christina, the very first time I met Mr. Cohen, it was in a Hannity green room. We were both going on air. And I remember just thinking I didn't understand why Donald Trump would ever align himself with someone like this. And it was honestly the reason I waited a little while to become an official surrogate for the president, because I just thought Michael Cohen was such a, call it Holy Spirit discernment, I don't know. I just didn't like the guy the first time I met him. Felt the same way about Jenna Ellis the first time I met her, by the way. But, you know, you look at these turncoats, and what really matters here is the court of public opinion. I mean, it does matter, of course, what happens to President Trump. We all care. We don't want him to have any more persecution than he's already endured, right? But the court of public opinion just sides with him every time there's another turncoat. And when you parade these turncoats, like Michael Cohen or like Jenna Ellis or any of the rest of them, out in front of the world, more people jump into the MAGA train than ever before. But I guess my question to you is, can the poll numbers get any better for President Trump? I mean, they're unprecedented at this point.
Yeah. No, President Trump is going to be the next president of the United States, and they are doing everything they can to try to stop that. And what they're doing is proving to the American people what Donald Trump says, which he says, they're not after me, they're after you. I'm just in the way. And so they've proven that point time and time again with the tactics that they've taken. And to your point, I do think the poll numbers can get better, and I think they will continue to get better. I think this is going to be a landslide victory for Donald Trump. We, the American people, just have to endure the suffering with him, get through these, crazy legal charges, and I fully expect that he will be back in the White House in 2025.
Yeah,
Christina.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, Gina. No, please,
Gina,
you follow up
and say, don't you think there's a psychology to all of this that really sort of authentically exposes Donald Trump's character? You know, you look at, even though many of us knew that, some of the people that were on Donald Trump's team originally some of us had a feeling that they weren't the best people. Michael Cohen really at the top of the line, Omarosa, others. But everyone can identify with being loyal to a friend to a fault. And that's not a bad character trait. And I guess that really, I feel like that really speaks to a part of psychology in America that people can understand. Is that what's happening here in your estimation?
I think so. And I think Donald Trump draws a lot of people, right? He has a lot of people around him. And I would go out and say that the vast majority of people around Donald Trump are very, very good. Has he had a few Michael Cohens in his life? Yeah. But when you look at the sheer number of people in his life, you're bound to have a few Judases. You know, look at Mike Pence, goodness, you know, but I'm so proud to get to work with so many of the people that I work with and President Trump's team, whether, you know, in any capacity, you know, there's many of us involved with President Trump, and I hold most of them in high regard. And certainly I'm grateful I never had to work with Michael Cohen, but he would be one that I would say, you know, maybe wasn't the best choice. Yeah. But the vast majority of people around President Trump and his family are really, really good people. And I'm honored and proud to be a part of that organization.
Exceptional.
And Christina, speaking of Michael Cohen, and Gina mentioned her first encounter with him. My first encounter with him was 12 years ago, and the word "smarmy" comes up. Honestly, I mean, I felt like I had to take a shower afterwards. I mean, literally. I mean, you kind of get that feeling, like, you know, he's going to sell me like a watch from his pocket or something. I don't know, but you know, it's like one of those situations. But beyond all that, sorry, I went off on a tangent there for a second. But like, if this was such nefarious activity, where were former DAs? Where were, I mean, Trump's been in business for decades. I mean, you're telling me that he just did this under the last few years under Michael Cohen, or last 5-10 years. I mean, he's been since I saw him in that Macaulay Culkin movie. He's been around forever, Christina.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And any normal person, even the banks, not just normal people, the banks that issued these loans looked at the numbers and actually valued the properties higher. So there's no actual wrongdoing here, not to mention the loans have been paid back. The banks thought that they were good business. They would do it again if they could. There's no victim here. This is purely an unadulterated attempt by the left to try to take out their political opponent. I think it's backfiring in the worst way. And it's proving that Donald Trump was right on all of it. And, you know, you think about people say, oh, but I don't like the mean tweets. You know, if only he could have been different. He's been screaming to us that our house is on fire. And people are going, I don't like the way he says it. Yeah. No. There are no mean tweets. Donald Trump is calling out the left. He's calling out not just the left, the corruption on the right as well. The corruption on the left, on the right. He's screaming fire to the American people that our government is corrupt and it's taking us down. And people are criticizing him, saying, oh, I don't like his mean tweets. You know, if my house is on fire and I'm stuck inside, I don't care if someone's rude when they tell me, right?
Get out. Yes.
Yeah, just get out.
He's screaming fire, and they're gag ordering him at every turn. Yeah. They're giving him gag orders all the time.
Yeah, Christina Bobb, always great to have you on the show.